everybody here was amazing.
Played against some amazing girls, and I just think it was awesome.
It's really great to see my team pull together to really work hard.
Being a regional champion is amazing. It's a once in a lifetime type of opportunity for these guys, for myself.
I'm really excited for these girls with this confidence to go to nationals and just test ourselves against great competition. We're going to nationals!
We made it to nationals, and that was amazing because we were one of the best, I think at the time it was the 4 teams. It was a round robin, actually. So it was the best 4 teams in the whole nation. And so we thought we were just the next best thing since sliced bread. And I think that playing in that tournament was so surreal because you played against other club teams that were so good and at the same level as you that you don't necessarily always get the chance or opportunity to play against, which was so great for us because we were like, wow, these girls are just as good as us, if not better, and we have to compete at the highest level and play these 3 games, or at that, it was a round robin, so we played the 4. But still, that just reminds me of how competitive I was and my teammates were at that age, which also I think helped me get to the next level. And being that competitive at the club level, has only helped me, continue to grow in my competitive spirit and level that I'm playing at right now.
The national championships was really, really special. I think that was the biggest thing I had really won, and that's kind of for youth soccer growing up, that was kind of the ultimate prize. And I think we were always super ambitious in achieving that and to have that happen. And I think what's so special about youth soccer is that it's really your family. The girls that you grow up with become like your sisters, and you do everything. And there's just such a strong camaraderie there. So to play with a team that you've played for a while with, and with these girls, it's a very special feeling to win something like that.
Those were really great moments because at such a young age, I feel like I was competing for something and really working hard to, perform for my team. And it was no longer just about, whatever the result is the result. At the end of the day, you win some, you lose some. But that was probably the moments that I was like, whoa, we got to win. We got a state championship on our hands that we could actually bring home. And I think those are really cool moments because, you remember a lot of the times that you win. You try to remember the losses as well because you do learn from them. But at the same time, you want to remember the wins that you have. So state championships were definitely a really important part of my memory.
Our state cup was fun. My team was very competitive. We had a lot of competition as well, but I can't remember how many we won. Maybe 9, I think, is what we counted with our team, which made it so much fun. That was always the big goal at the end is win state cup, go to regionals, and go to nationals. And we always fell short going to nationals, which still hurts today to even talk about. But I had so much fun in those tournaments, and my team made it even 10 times better to be a part of.
I get to play now in front of huge crowds and with all this spotlight and attention, and I don't think I'll ever have that feeling that I did going through my U14 national championship. I remember winning state cup. I can tell you how I scored, what the score was. I remember going to Hawaii. That was our regionals, Region 4, and I remember that national championship. And I think that it stays with me so much because it was about camaraderie. It was about growing and learning who you were and making these lifelong bonds.
this tournament, it's great competition. I mean, you just have to work. All these teams belong here. All these teams work to get here.
So the competition was fantastic from start to finish, and when you get to play in a facility like this, it makes it even more worthwhile traveling the 6.5 hours to get here.
We sacrificed a lot, time, and like our summer. So I really think that if we keep with that, we'll be on pace for a great time at nationals.
Just an overall great performance. Came out in the second half, was able to close it out and get that regional victory that we wanted.
Benefits of this level are huge. The college exposures, second to none for these guys. They're all able to get recruited and achieve the goals that they want to when they set out to actually sign up to play club sports and make a team. They're able to get those opportunities.
I think having something to play for is a real benefit to these girls, not just showcases, it's competition. Everyone wants to win. You play competitive sports because you want to win.
Hello everyone and welcome to Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex here in Overland Park, Kansas, site of the 2019 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. I'm Tom Benula and I'm here to bring you all of this evening's exciting National Championship Cup action in the 13 and under age group between the Michigan Jaguars and Pipeline SC Pre-Academy. Michigan Jaguars out of Novi, Michigan, headed up by Dan Trosper. Pipeline SC out of Baltimore, Maryland, headed by Philip Greatwich. Your referees for today's contest, the head referee is going to be Adam Rice. AR1 will be Hector Gutierrez. AR2 is Samantha Carey. And the fourth official today is Jason Hampton. Your starting lineups for today's contest: Michigan Jaguars wearing the green with white trim. They will be in the field: Braden Backus, Noah Karfis, Diego Ramirez, Alex Bilan, Angel Medrano, Caden Maurer, Travis Zalehi, Riku Aki, and in goal it's Gavin Cote. For Pipeline in the gold and black, they will be in the field. It's going to be Christian Rugel, Daniel Klink, Edward Smith, Kobe Kiomani, Travis Kozak, Isa Omale, Nicholas Antonakis, Philippe Oliveira, Christopher Supan, Anthony Topolsky, and in goal it's Tyler Mezadara. We are underway here, and quickly we get a stoppage. First whistle of the contest gives the free kick to Pipeline SC. They come in with a record of 3-0-0, undefeated here in the national tournament. 3 goals scored. They have yet to surrender a goal. In fact, they have only allowed 1 goal against if you combine the regional tournament and the national tournament. They work it from the far corner, and that one's knocked out. Backus able to get a bit of a touch onto it. Seems to be a bit of a question about one of the balls, so they get a new one over there. Michigan Jaguars, no slouch themselves, coming into this national championship. Midwest regional champions, undefeated in that competition. Into touch, and it's a corner kick. decent amount of support for Pipeline SC as they have a decent fan base over on the far side. Some of the girls' teams in one of the older age brackets out to support their club. Michigan Jaguars also have some good support, but they're kind of split. As the header came in, just barely missed. Michigan unable to clear. Second opportunity for Pipeline. Rolling through the box. Now Oliveira sees it roll out. Just too much pace on that one for him to catch up to. But Michigan Jaguars having to split their support a little bit as their 13 and under team is playing for a national championship on the girls' side behind us as well. Third minute of play. Pipeline with the steal. They come here to the near sideline. Kozak sends it up the touchline. Racing onto it is Kiomani. He's dispossessed. Stepping into it was Vartanian. A wrestling match. Michigan able to win it. Stolen right back. A lot of grabbing going on here in the early going as there's a bouncing shot coming in from Klink. Cote, his first sustained touch on the ball. Header one in the midfield by Klink, goes back the other direction. Medrano's clear was blocked. Klink comes here to the near side now. Topolsky. Kiomani cutting around three defenders, and then the pass towards the sideline was not where it needed to be. First time with possession that Michigan able to push forward. Over on the far side, Backus trying to send one into the 18-yard box. Nothing doing there. Pipeline very stout defensively, as we mentioned. Steady wind blowing here in Overland Park. Ball ping-pongs around. Pipeline trying to bring it down just outside the circle. One-time pass into the attacking third. Racing there is Rugel, but not able to get to it. Rugel's footing slipped out from underneath him on that challenge, wins it again. This one off the foot of Vartanian, so it'll be a throw for Pipeline SC. Topolsky got a piece of that one, but the Jaguars able to claim it. Medrano able to get around one, service up towards the middle, but that's much too direct. Needed a little more curl towards that far flag, and that might have been something. Nil-nil here in the early going. Klink pulls it back as pressure was surrounding him. A little too much contact for the officials' liking, so the free kick going to come out. Felipe Oliveira called for the offense. Medrano was trying to use his size, but the ball fell just a little short. Back to the midfield stripe. Played up by Ramirez. Intercepted by Klink. Up top for Rugel, but that wasn't quite on. Miscommunication there as Kiomani went up for the header, but he had Rugel right on him. Kozak. Klink. Had space to maneuver up front, but it sends the long ball instead. And that one's out for the corner. Zelagi not too happy about that. So we see just right around the end line, and I think Zelagi thought when it rebounded off the pipeline attacker that he was still in play. But ultimately the ball had crossed the line beforehand, so it's a corner kick. Left footer, and they go low with it. Trying to set up a shot, dummy run instead, and there's too many green jerseys around for that. Up through the middle, trying to push up front. Ramirez had it taken away. Kiomani trying to send one through to Rugel. Coming in from the side is Vetranian. Now the shot comes in, and Cote comfortably behind it. Solid defending for both squads so far. Both teams have been able to push into the attacking third. Pipeline so far the only team that's created any true chances on goal, though. It's been a quiet night so far for Mizadara. Another corner kick coming, though, for Pipeline. We'll see if they can do any better this time. Not a bad idea to go along the ground on that first attempt, but then the dummy run by Topolsky ended up with nobody in behind. Everybody about 7 yards out from goal. Now they start moving around. Another left-footed kick coming. Headed away by the defender, but not out of the box yet. Legs flying everywhere. Pipeline comes down with it in the midfield. Pushing towards the left is Topolsky. Oliveira. Too much pace on that one. Visible frustration there from Oliveira. There was just a little too much roll on that ball on these synthetic turfs. It's not going to catch up at all. Right around that line. Linesman's flag has stayed down, so that one will go out for the goal kick. A couple substitutions will come in now for the Michigan Jaguars. Coming in is Ali Hamoud, as well as Gavin McBride. McBride settles right into the midfield. Hamoud more out on the wing. Goal kick won by Pipeline, but couldn't get it under control. Pilfered away by Medrano. Contact in from behind. Official allows it. Into touch along the far sideline. Throw in favors Pipeline SC. Champion against champion here this evening. Talked about Michigan Jaguars, the Midwest regional champions. Pipeline SC out of the East region, and they were victorious there, going 5-0-1. Rugel in behind, but the flag went up, offside. Free kick for Michigan, about 10 yards inside the touchline. Caught up in the wind there as it's kind of coming right to left on your screen. Nice ball over towards the far side, but has good amount of run on it. And ultimately, Suppan played it off the Jaguar player and gains a throw. Quickly back in, but right into a maze of bodies. Looping one over the top, but Rugel has a tall defender in front of him. Zaleji able to let that one run out, so we'll have a goal kick. Thirteenth minute of play in a scoreless game. As we see that ball coming in, and just a step too far in behind there in the middle. It was a good idea for Pipeline to try to send that one over the top. We've seen plenty of long balls in this game. Some have been a little bit lacking in execution, but that one was not. And unfortunately, Rugel had just gone a little too early. Held in on the far sideline by Oliveira as he tries to get towards that end line. Again, the height from Zaleji, able to thwart that attempt. One in the midfield by Medrano. He's able to avoid the diving body. Now here to the right, Bilan. Bilan cuts it back, wants to get it on that left foot, drops it back. Defenders diving everywhere. Medrano's shot was blocked. And then a roar from the crowd as Pipeline able to avert the danger. Counterattack opportunity as Kiomani starting to ask some questions, pushing forward onto the attack. Takes on one defender, into the 18-yard box, cuts it across the grain. But ultimately a good save from Cote. We'll see if that opens the game at all with some good offensive work from both teams. A good cutback there from Bilan. Wasn't able to get the shot off, and then there were just too many bodies in front in the end. Sometimes that's all it takes is a couple back and forth opportunities, and then the offense starts to flow a little more evenly. So we get another look. Kiomani, little feint move, not too much, but pushed it out to the left. The ball was just rolling far enough away that he wasn't able to generate much power in behind it. Rugel pincered by two defenders along the touchline with Topolsky. Diving stab by the defender, able to knock that one away. Topolsky, a little cheeky with the flick over the top. Rugel from the left wing doesn't have too much in the way of options, and that one runs out nevertheless. Substitution going to check in for Pipeline SC. We'll see if they allow it during this break. They will. So Rugel will come out, and checking into the game is Analaha. High up into the air, off the back of Ramirez. Two Jaguars in the area, now they push it through the midfield. Bilan picking up a little bit of space. On through the middle of the pitch, off the back heel of Medrano. Medrano! Off the side netting. Corner kick upcoming. The Jaguars starting to build something. See a nice little touch off the heel. Medrano, one extra touch, and then the shot. Defender got just enough of that one to put it out. Let's go Jaguars chanting from the opposite side. Nicely lifted corner, but too many defenders in that vicinity. Held in by Vartanian. Coming out, counterattack opportunity for Analaha. Analaha racing up against Ramirez, and Ramirez wins that duel. Played in, off the throw. One in the air by Vartanian, so we'll do it all over again a little further down. Remember to stay tuned following this contest. Actually, it will be on a different stream, but when they hand out the actual championship trophies, we will bring you all of that coverage. So the water break coming just about halfway through the first half. 0-0 your score. Both teams have had some opportunities. It had been mostly Pipeline SC throughout this first half with the majority of the possession, but Michigan finally able to generate a couple chances. The last one was a good one from Angel Medrano. And ultimately he was denied by a defender sliding in front and just getting a bit of a block on that one. In terms of how this has gone in this national championship, it's a bit of offense against defense. This Pipeline won 3 straight matches by the score of 1-0. They defeated Rebels SC on day 1, and FC Dallas, and then Michigan Jaguars, as we take a look at some of the highlights we've had so far throughout this contest. Teams trading chances back and forth. That's one that Kiomani perhaps might like to have back a little bit. He did a great job of getting into space, but just couldn't necessarily get as much force generated in behind that one as he would have liked. But Michigan doing themselves proud, as that was the one that I mentioned just moments ago by Medrano. Is the defender coming in at the last moment. Water break over, we'll get back to live action. Defender wins it as he stepped around and hoofed upfield. Amole won it. It filtered all the way through the top. Kiomani, a bit of a push there, but as the ball left, the official saw no need to call it. There is a foul in the midfield though, so it'll be a free kick upcoming for Pipeline SC. Anthony Topolsky lines it up. Everybody surrounding the edge of the 18, waiting for this ball to come in. Backspin on the ball, defender dealt with it. Milan couldn't chase it down, goes over to the far side for Kiomani. He's around his numerical counterpart in Bacchus. Lifts one in towards the edge of the 18, settles down, chance! Across the face of goal, score! It kept bouncing back and forth, and finally it was Analaha to bank it in off the defender. As you see the cross come in, headed back across the grain, a second opportunity putting it back, and then Analaha played it off the defender and into the back of the net for a 1-0 Pipeline SC lead. It was almost a valiant block there from Oliveira as he was in the right position, but Analaha ripped that one, and there was no doubt about it. That has energized the crowd for Pipeline SC. Out for the goal kick. Substitution coming in for the Michigan Jaguars. Scratch that. Apparently, Coach Trosper was just preparing Sabin Russell to come in, but not at that particular moment. Pipeline SC trying to make good work of going out wide here. Wouldn't settle down as Onlaha had eyes on potentially getting his second one. Goal comes in the 22nd minute. So we have almost played 23 minutes here. Over the top, looking for Medrano. Medrano taking on all defenders. Medrano looking for the foul, but the ball was won. Up the line. Now, Onlaha going for Kiomani. Kiomani! And sticking out the leg was Kote. Kiomani goes to ground. Official right there once again signals no foul. Adam Rice has been very consistent throughout this contest. Onlaha, a good cross in towards the middle of the pitch, but getting in front of that one was McBride. Hamoud right into the defender as Zaleji's height comes into play again. This time we will have the goal kick and the substitutions. So we see this play, Kiomani just trying to go around, and Kote basically just trying to make himself as big as he could. And that was enough as the ball hit right around the right knee and kept it out. In for Pipeline is going to be Mason Wakefield and, as mentioned before, Sabin Russell checking in for the Michigan Jaguars. Little over 10 minutes left to go in regulation time here in the first half. 1-0 your score in favor of Pipeline SC off a 22nd minute goal. Bilan steps in front of that one, but it's still swept along the line and kept in. Stepping up was Omole. Played upfield as Wakefield got his first touch of the match. McBride. Left over the top. Hamoud tried to split the two defenders, but Backus won it. Off the chest of Omole. One in the midfield is by the left back, Topolsky. As the entire back four had kind of switched around towards the sideline. Good win along the near touchline by Onlaha. Does so again with the sliding challenge, but this time it's enough to roll out. National Championship Cup on the line. As I mentioned earlier, stay tuned to this YouTube channel. There will be a new feed a little later this evening, I'd say about 15, 20 minutes following the match, where they will show the trophy presentation. Kiomani flicked it over, looking for Hamoud, but Zaleji was in the way. First touch now for Russell. On through to Medrano. Confidently off his line was Mizadra. This ball's through to Medrano. They've connected probably on about, say, 75% of them. That was one that didn't, but you have to figure if they can keep that clicking, that eventually they might find something through it. They've come very close so far, but not close enough. As that one rolls into touch along the far sideline. Entering the 28th minute of play. Substitution coming in for Pipeline will be Colin Kelly. Coming to you live from the Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex. This facility hosted the Midwest Regional. First time in a few years that it's hosted the National Championship. This event has been down in Frisco the last few years. The weather has been much kinder to us broadcasters and the players alike here in the Kansas City area. Temperatures mainly in the 80s, normally a decent breeze as well as there is tonight. A little bit gusty every now and then as it's calmed down right now. Another throw in coming up. Further down the pitch, Medrano sticks out a leg, comes up empty. Russell throws a hip into the defender. Medrano comes up with the ball. A little bit of a shoulder pull from behind, but Amole gets away with it. Off into the corner, Russell avoids the challenge. Counterattack opportunity now for Pipeline, building up through the center. Nice play by Ramirez to come and pilfer it from behind. Wakefield up top, looking for Anlaha. Michigan forced to go all the way back to Cote as they want to stretch Pipeline out a little bit. Bilan wins the throw. Headed back the other way by Topolsky. Ping-ponging back and forth as Ramirez sent it to Smith and then almost got it back. Russell now has it for Michigan. McBride twisted and turned around. Kelly tries to take it off to the wing. Backus able to shove him off. Zaleji up to Medrano. Popping one over the top. Russell with the pace, but the ball won't settle down. Now Russell with a push in from behind, and he will gain the free kick. A little too much in that challenge from Ed Smith. For you Michigan Jaguars fans, if you feel so inclined, you can open up a new browser tab and check out the girls game, which is just about set to kick off. Bringing you live coverage on that one, presented by Turbo Sports Group. Free kick coming up for the boys' side, Michigan Jaguars. A few yards out from the edge of the 18-yard box. Looking for an equalizing goal towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Had to be dealt with, kicked away by Topolsky. High back into the sky. Not under control though, and now neither team bringing it down. McBride just loops one over the top. Flag stays down, challenging and swatting it away. Another chance, and Russell sends it over. Medrano in disbelief as he thought that had set up perfectly. But ultimately it was not to be. Best chance of the game perhaps, as coming out was Mizadra to swat that away from the much taller Medrano. But when you're able to use your hands, that gives you much of an advantage, even when the other player does have a little more height. And then ultimately it wouldn't quite settle down for Sabin Russell, and he put it up and over the target. 32nd minute, 35-minute halves here in this age group. 70-minute contests. The sub. The shot skims wide, not too far off from Mason Wakefield. The sub that had just come in was Christian Rugel. So we see that chance from Wakefield. I think the defender closing in at the last moment was just enough to throw that off, and he kind of leaned back, and that allowed the ball to escape. Rugel trying to chase this one down as he outworked the defender right around the box. Favor repaid though as Vartanian able to take it back. Laced up the near sideline, but stepping in front was Antonakis. Russell was the intended target there. Smith with the steal. It's got way too much on it for Rugel to catch up. Just a little under 2 minutes left to go in regulation time here in the first half. Hasn't been too much in the way of stoppages, so you wouldn't figure much more than perhaps a minute of stoppage time added on, if at all. Although with the water break, that will actually add on a little bit more time. Anulaha goes to ground, then takes a swipe, doesn't come up with the ball or the free kick. Karfus lifts one up towards the midfield line. It was headed on. Wrong direction, though, off the head of Klink. Favors Michigan. Medrano sends it over to the far wing. It'll roll over. They give it back to McBride. He had his pocket picked as Wakefield looks to go the other direction. Rugel with space in front. Not too much in the way of options. Gets around the defender, though, but the touch was too heavy. Substitution about to come in for Pipeline. It's going to be Kobe Kiomani coming back in. Also just received word that they're going to have 3 minutes of additional time put on the end. So Kiomani replaces the goal scorer, Caden Anulaha. Handball occurred before the foul, so the free kick will be with the Michigan Jaguars. Didn't necessarily hear the whistle, but the official was right in their vicinity. So you see the official announcement there up on the fourth official's board. Jason Hampton putting it up in the sky. Russell was turned around after winning that ball. Comes back over here to the near wing. Vartanian stepped on it right on the line to keep it in. Vartanian sweeps it away from the possession of Kiomani. Klink looking for Kiomani, just gets around the defender. Kiomani now looking to what he has available. Gonna take the shot. That one off the body, settling down for Wakefield. So get another look at that challenge coming in, and then a good job to hold that in. And that's sweeping it away from Kiomani as well. That was probably the key with that play, because if he doesn't take that off of Kiomani's foot, that sets up the counterattack much earlier and with the defense much less prepared. McBride through the center circle looking for Russell, just a bit too much. Milan putting on the pressure, able to make a bad pass, and then it's into touch, but back to Pipeline SC. Just about halfway through the allotted amount of stoppage time that they're going to put on here. Milan wins that one. as it bounces back and forth, header to header. Wakefield looking for Rugel, but just a bit too much on that. Ramirez, nice pass through the defenders, finds McBride. Ramirez again, far wing now, looking for space. Backus plays it up the wing, good cut back. Then a foul in from behind, we'll give it back to Pipeline. So they won't even be able to take the kick. The halftime whistle blows. A little over 37 minutes played. Officially, it'll only go down as 35 though, but the main thing is Pipeline. Their fans are happy after that first little bracket as Caden Analaha puts them up going into the break with a goal in the 22nd minute. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have your second half of action in this national championship cut match between Michigan Jaguars and Pipeline SC. Back with more from Overland Park Soccer Complex in just a minute.
My name is Tony McManus. We are the 01 Lady Lobos Rush out of Memphis, Tennessee. You know, we were here in the finals last year. Unfortunately, did not finish it out, but that gave us a little bit of motivation going into this year.
It's been crazy, and it's just been like really hard because everybody here is so good, and everybody is good because they win their state cup, and so there are other ways to get in, and so it's been really difficult. But we pushed through it, and we were able to come out on top.
For us, it's a little difficult because we work with a lot of underprivileged kids, kids that can't afford to really play at big clubs. So we're very small. We haven't been around very long. We put in a lot of work with the kids. We pick them up. We've been working with these guys, you know, just try to give them a future, you know, something to look forward to, get them out the streets, put them in a place where they can come and just have fun, meet other kids, and train hard, and just give them a goal, whether it's college or to the next level. So we've been very successful at doing that at this level. So it's been a great process.
well, this is the top league in the country, all the best teams, the best competition, and that's what you want for your kids. You know, you want them to work hard and achieve success against the best, so it should be exciting.
Boy, they were tough. They were a tough team, and they had a lot of speed. And so we weren't ready for that, and they kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. We made a few mistakes in the back, and then they came back and tied it up, you know, with 7-8 minutes left in the game. But it was a battle. They are a very strong, competitive team. It's a sweet victory because they really deserve it. The girls were tired. They were weak, and they dug really deep. They really did. They really fought for it.
Everyone wants it so bad that we all get better from each other. No matter the win or the loss, we all want it. It's the best feeling. I've dreamed about this for a long time. It's so exciting to be here.
Very tough game. We had to go into extra time to decide the champion, and our boys stuck it to the end, and were able to come out with a victory today.
It's just an amazing feeling knowing you scored the winning goal for the team. We worked so hard for this, and we all deserve this.
Regionals is where you find the best state champions come and they give you a run for your money.
I think soccer in a whole creates a family. The bake sales, the car washes, the raising of money, it brings all of us together, and we are one, and on to nationals.
Welcome back to Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex as we take a look at some of the highlights from that first half of action. Both teams able to create some chances, and that was a decent one from Kobe Kiyomane, as he's been one of the focal points of the attack for Pipeline SC so far throughout this contest in the opening 35. But the opposite was true for Angel Medrano, as they've played a lot of balls in through to him, and he's getting a little bit frustrated with his lack of ability to come up with a goal. But it's not for lack of trying, as we saw right there, as that one went off a defender and just into the side netting. But ultimately for Michigan, I think the game plan has got to be that they need to just keep at it, as they will be able to find a tying goal, as we saw the go-ahead goal right there for Pipeline SC. As we take another look at it, the cross in, that's the part that I wondered about, though, was not the goal. It was a really solid goal there from Alaha, but that initial header back the other way, I wonder if that was on purpose or just kind of coming off a little bit awkwardly off the cross. But in the end, it ended up working out for Pipeline SC no matter what, as they got the go-ahead goal. They lead, as you see on your screen during the break, by a score of 1-0. So the East Regional champions on top of the Midwest Regional champions for now, but this one could still go either way in the final 35. Michigan Jaguars, no slouch, as I mentioned. They come in regional champions. They came in with a 2-1-0 record here at the final site. 6 goals scored, so in the national championship round, they have been a much better offensive team than we have seen out of Pipeline, but Pipeline has done so well defensively that it really kind of has made the difference for them. Only 1 goal allowed, though, for Michigan, as it ends up that both teams solid defensively, as we see some of the fans from both teams over on the far sideline. They've been treated to a really solid match as these teams play for a national championship. Michigan Jaguars look to come back as they have defeated FC Dallas by a score of 5-0 on the opening day. Beat Rebels SC 1-0 on the second day, and then the final day of Group Line saw them fall to this very same Pipeline team by a score of 1-0. So no coincidence then that Pipeline has that same lead as they have won all 3 of their group matches by this score. We'll see whether or not they can hang on to it or if Michigan can find the answer as we're underway here in the second half. Pipeline ended up with possession as they had not won the toss to open the match. And now Rugel takes a ripper at the goal, but it was a little too much off the instep of his foot. So curling away from the target right from the get-go. And I think that's what both coaches were preaching during their halftime talks, was that it really needs to be pretty much the same from both teams here in the second half. Doesn't have to be any large changes. No grasping for straws, if you will, from Michigan. They created enough chances, just weren't able to find that final ball. Rugel a little heavy on the touch, allows Vartanian to come back. Flicks it over towards the near side, but a little too much on it to be kept in. So an early throw in deep position for Pipeline SC. Supan up to Klink, who flicked it on, but directly at the goalkeeper. Cote comes out, makes the grab. Milan was the intended target, sliding it through near side, trying from behind Oliveira. McBride trying to get a little cute with the flick, allows Pipeline to regain it. Oliveira surrounded by a triangle of defenders, able to get around the much larger Zalagi. Oliveira centers it. Ramirez in a tussle with Wakefield. Now there's a myriad of bodies over there. Pops up, Zalagi heads it away. Oliveira here on the near side. Flag stays down, was close to coming from an offside position, but even with the final defender on the far side of the field. Ramirez up towards the middle third, but no further. Coming out and getting to it was Cote just before Kiomani could get there. Those are those small instances that sometimes go unnoticed by the casual fan. And goalkeeper has to be quick off the line. It looks so casual in the way that it turns out as Rugel gets a chance towards the box, and once again strong in defense was Garen Vartanian. Klink off the chest of Kiomani, but that runs out as he takes a stumble. Ball will be put back into play from a free kick, as apparently they saw a little too much contact in there from Kiomani. Looked fairly innocuous, but officials done a pretty good job here, keeping this one under control here today. Not too many needs for whistles so far. Rugel comes right up the gut, thought about a shot, second attempt, skids that one wide. Not a bad idea by Rugel, but I think once he had second thoughts about that initial chance, he kind of took the momentum out from underneath himself. Brought down by Medrano, popped over towards the far side. Back in quickly. Ramirez up through the middle. Medrano. Little chip in towards the box. Defenders not handling it cleanly. Second attempt gets it all the way out. Oliveira avoids the defender, struggles to get it out from under his own feet. Now goes to Kiamani on the far side. Klink trying to open up, also has to avoid the official. Adam Rice doing his best to get out of the way. Off the foot, Kozak. Klink takes a bit of a bump, still manages to send it forward. This one curling towards the line. Held in initially by Oliveira, but the ball just had a little too much spin on it. Supan looking for Rugel. Well done by Bilan. Up to Medrano. Medrano using his size. Right on his back is Smith. Pipeline concedes the throw in. Michigan trying to build something here. Similarly to the first half, possession and stringing together passes has been difficult to come by. Amoli tried to center it away, but was met by the foot of Nino. A little bit of a bobble there by the goalkeeper, goes out. Corner kick. Just about all the corner kicks in this contest have come from that end of the field. See if Michigan can build something out of it. Majority of the green shirts out towards the back post, about 6 yards away. Driven ball in, easy to spot for the defenders. Sent away, Rugel able to spin it away from Vartanian. Garen Vartanian in defense. Trying to wall off Kiomani. He's in behind the defenders though. Kiomani heavy on that touch though, able to chase it down. Kiomani through the legs. The official tells him to get up. Rodriguez looking to go the other way, intercepted. Topolsky, second attempt, too tall for Rugel. Topolsky in from behind, Klink, edge of the box, served up. Kiomani puts it back out in front, but Cote was there on the slow roller. So good build-up from Pipeline SC as they've got a player down. Klink serving it out towards the left. Kiomani getting there. He had to kind of dive and stab at that one and wasn't able to get as much behind it as he would have liked. There you see Adam Rice, our head official this evening. Substitution coming in for Pipeline SC. Checking into the game will be Caden Anlaha. Also coming in for Michigan Jaguars is Rico Aki and Sabin Russell. But Anlaha replaced Rugel, the injured player, which was Oliveira, has now returned. He just had to come off the pitch after he was seen to by his coach. Bilan lunges up in front of that one bravely, but Pipeline still able to send it up. Kiomani, who's taken more of a center role now. Anlaha from the left, dancing around with it. Defender did well to keep his eye on the ball and not the flickering feet. Bilan. Dispossessed, off the other way. Bouncing a little bit too much for Amole to handle cleanly, so he just smartly played it out, allowing his fellow defenders to come back to his aid. Ramirez, right, all that road to Kansas hashtag. Popped back over through the middle, Ramirez. Bilan, Ramirez again. Medrano from the circle, outside to Nino. Flag stayed down, so it'll be a corner kick, much to the displeasure of Coach Greatwich, as he thought that one was over the line before it was caught back. Got a good shot of it there. And the official was in good position, called the corner kick. A little bit of a different look now from the Michigan Jaguars as they're spread a little more in the box. Only 3 players around the 6-yard area. More height underneath this one. Still dealt with by the defenders. Some grabbing going on just outside the penalty spot. .47th minute. Pipeline SC leads on a 22nd minute goal from Caden Anlaha. Too tall for Nino. Second attempt brings it down. Up through the middle for Bilan. Outside to Medrano. Looking back for Bilan. Defender spotted it nicely. Coming back was Topolsky. Too tall for Oliveira. Is able to bring it down on another attempt. Feet in between the wickets. Nino. Aki. Andrew Vartanian. Now we get a free kick. Substitution for Pipeline SC at the next opportunity. They'll have the free kick before the substitution comes in. At the edge of the 6-yard box, legs flailing away. Pipeline can't clear. Ramirez got a body in front of that one and then finally blasted away as it curls over here towards the near sideline. Doesn't escape though, checked up. Coming in is Kelly. He replaces Oliveira. Medrano, sandwiched between 2 defenders. Gets it over to Nino. Nino into the box for Bilan. Bilan trying to cut it back out of the right foot. Pops up towards goal. Finally cleared away. Smith able to send that one out. Nino again towards the middle. Lining it up. Medrano with the flick, just went wide. Flag stayed down. He was very close to offside. Would have been interesting to see who might have held him on as we see this one pop over the top. And from that camera angle, it looked like Medrano was in behind everyone, but kind of one of those situations where there could have been a defender off screen. Too hot for Klink to deal with. Back the other way is Michigan. Starting to build up a little bit more here. Analaha coming back from midfield. Gets a piece of that one. Kelly swings it out wide. Klink. One time over the top, looking for Kiomani. He's walled off by Guerin. Vartanian. Ramirez up through the gut. Medrano. Medrano had it poked away as Isaiah Amole was able to poke that one loose. Kobe Kiamani. Too much contact. Vartanian off from the side. Adam Rice having just a word or two with him. $19 minutes left in regulation. Backspin on the ball, checks it up in the air. Michigan able to clear it out. Milan lays it back. Ramirez, one timeout, looking for Medrano, but stepping in was Smith. Smith now takes an opportunity towards goal, but just a bit too much wind to cut through. Suppan sends it back the other way, now looking for Kelly. Zalagi is right there as well. Kelly tried to go through, couldn't quite steal it in between the legs. Amole. Sees this one spin out of bounds. Sub coming in now for Pipeline SC. Back into the game is Wakefield. And he will give Klink a breather. So now we have a water break, and while we have that, we want to take a quick chance here to thank some of our sponsors presenting today's national championship match. Today's game is proudly brought to you by AE Engine, also sponsoring today's match is AmericanEagle.com, Bag Tags Incorporated, Target, Chipotle Mexican Grill, Dick's Sporting Goods, MLS, NCSA, Nike, Positive Coaching Alliance, Premier International Tours, Soccer Shots, Sunmade, TA Petro Stopping Centers, United Soccer Coaches, U.S. Soccer Federation, and Wilson Trophy Company. Back to live action here. 1-0 your score. Pipeline SC leads on a 22nd minute goal in the first half from Caden Onalaha. Hope you really are enjoying today's match, whether you're watching up in Michigan or Maryland, or all points in between and beyond. Milan once again trying to go up through the middle. Russell muscles his way through on the right, cuts it back from the end line, looking for options, doesn't have the much in the way of help. All the way into the corner, well defended, and then nicely taken out of there. Milan lets it run through, but there were too many gold shirts for that to get on for Medrano. Andrew Vartanian plays it up the far wing. Russell thought about putting it back in quickly. Bilan managed to keep that in along the end line. Too tall for Ramirez. Kiomani takes a wild stab at it, sends it even higher into the air. Karfis now into possession for Kozak. Kiomani. Contact him from behind. The official said it's all square. Into touch. Coach Greatwich wanting his team to play to feet a little bit more as they've kind of fallen into the trap of sending long balls. Andrew Vartanian able to wall off Kiomani. That allows Karfis to take it. From the center back position, Garin Vartanian. Looping one over the top, looking for Kelly. He's got the wheels. He's able to push it just around Zaleji. And Zaleji touches it out, and it'll be a corner kick. Looked like it might have taken a touch off of Kelly, but the assistant referee, Hector Gutierrez, right in good positioning to make that call. Medrano coming all the way back from the striker position to help defend this one. Left-footed corner kick about to be taken. They go short with it. Popping it back out. That one took a touch on the way through. Wouldn't settle down for Anlaha. Safely into the hands of Cote. Never been a fan of short corner kicks myself, but they seem to be more in vogue in today's game. It does give you a slightly better angle to swing it towards goal. Kelly, once again, right up against Zaleji. Slightly late whistle, but I think Mr. Rice was just trying to see how things were going to play out there. That's one thing that, just as a fan, I never used to understand, and then having officiated for several years now, it's something that your average person doesn't necessarily get. As you see the contact there, I think the foul call is correct, but the fact that the whistle comes after the player rolls and stands up a little bit dejected, a lot of times it ends up fans are up in arms. Why wasn't there a call? And then the call comes, oh, why was it late? It's the official's job really to see who's going to come up with possession after that ball pops loose and not deny Pipeline any kind of advantage opportunity. Free kick was taken a little too early. Now Rice blows the whistle, and we'll get it started with Kiomani putting a left foot into it. Caught up in the wind just a little bit. Still popping up towards that 6-yard area. Both teams take a swing off the crossbar. Score! It had the spin on it, and Cote couldn't range back. It's Kiomani again. Caden Analaha, his second goal. You see it pop up in the air. Nobody could really deal with it. Took a strange bounce and then finally popped in, and that's actually Mason Wakefield, my mistake. So Wakefield, the goal to put his team up 2-0. That came off the crossbar, actually off the outstretched fingertips of Cote as well, the goalkeeper, and then just barely trickled over the line. So the goal coming in the 60th minute from Mason Wakefield. So Caden Analaha and Mason Wakefield, your goal scorers. Pipeline SC up 2-0. Substitution coming in for Michigan Jaguars. Coming into the game is Braden Backus. He replaces Andrew Vartanian. First time in a long time that Michigan has allowed more than one goal in a match. So it'll be interesting to see how they react. Bodies falling everywhere here behind the play. We've got Backus, who just came back into the game, a little shaken up. And then it was Kelly, who was down here on the near sideline for Pipeline. Backus trying to run it off, but it looks like they may end up subbing him out. With his team already down by 2, no time to take any chances. Kiamani able to outdo Karfus. Karfus able to dive and stab that one away. Rodriguez with those dual casts, one on each forearm. Nino sticks out a foot. Official said that he didn't come up with the ball, so a free kick coming out. Substitutions now for each team. Coming into the game for Pipeline SC is going to be Felipe Oliveira. And checking in for the Michigan Jaguars was Aiden Buff. '63rd minute. A little more than 7 minutes left in regulation. Time of precious commodity now for both of these teams, even more so for the Michigan Jaguars, as they have to score 2 goals in that allotted time. Obviously, we'll have a small handful of minutes added on for the water break, as well as the goal scored. Kozak to the left. Anlaha looking into the middle. Oliveira felt the pressure coming from behind. Oliveira trying to split 2 more defenders. Wakefield a little ambitious there, going for glory. Once again looking to Medrano as the outlet. It's a big target. Substitution will be allowed this time. It's Pipeline SC had the sub up for a while, but they also are trying to kind of stem the flow of momentum in this game. The choppier it is, the more it's going to favor the team with a 2-goal lead. We see Medrano right along the line. Good job to play it off the defender, off the foot of Omole. Now Medrano with the volley. That one spinning towards that far corner. It stays in though. Zaleji plays it back towards the 6-yard area, but kind of a bouncer. Sent out by Smith. Kiamani looking for Oliveira, and coming back to cut it out was Buff. Karfus. Neither team settling it down. Amole to Oliveira. Has to keep it in, does so. Take it away. Vartanian played it right into the body of Supan. But You got a foul. .66 minute of play with Pipeline SC leading 2-0. 1 goal in each half for the team out of Baltimore, Maryland. Another substitution coming in for said team. Dan Klink will return to the game as he replaces Caden Analaha. Punched out by Wakefield. Rugel draws the free kick. The National Championship Cup on the line. Rugel kind of spun around. Wakefield couldn't bring it down cleanly. Over towards the far touchline, stays in. Good job by Kozak to keep it in. Kozak drives to the edge of the 18. Too much green around him though, and I'm not talking about the field. Kozak goes to ground. Finally sent at least slightly further away from goal by Karfus. Pipeline still looking for one more insurance goal. They drop it back to Supan. Oliveira here on the outside. Oliveira saying it took a deflection. He's correct. So we take another look at that challenge in the box. Kozak. And he went to ground, but the ball was won. Kozak really going over the top of the ball. Well played by him, though. Some of the times you'll see the attackers much more demonstrative, looking to the official, but not in that instance. Obviously, he still felt he was fouled. Anytime you feel contact around the shins or ankles, you automatically assume that it was your opponent. Checking into the game for the Michigan Jaguars now is Gavin McBride, looking to give them a little more height up front, as long balls will be the strategy. Hard challenge in from behind, but coming up with the ball of the Jaguars. Wakefield sent it in. And Wakefield was fouled. His foot was kind of unnecessarily swept from underneath him. And now the official going to have a word or two with Garen Vartanian. So Wakefield looks like he's a little too shaken up. He'll have to be taken out. With the amount of injuries and goals, as well as the water break, you have to figure there be several minutes added on here. Garrett Albin comes into the game for Pipeline SC as they try to see the rest of this match out, up by 2 goals. The insurance goal coming in the 60th minute is Mason Wakefield, was able to pop one off the crossbar and then in off the goalkeeper. Zalagi sends it away. Not far enough, though. Kozak into the box. Kicked out. Cote didn't have good control of it, though. McBride coming back to try to get some. A little too much of a player as Albin wins the free kick. McBride showing some frustration. More substitutions now for Pipeline as they continue to try to take some time off this clock. And I think that's right there what McBride was frustrated about, felt that he got pulled in on the shoulder from behind. Then the extra whistle came on that little swing around. Kiomani returns to the game. Minimum of 5 minutes going to be added on to the end of this match. Already about 30 seconds in to stoppage time. Kiomani takes the free kick. Ultimately right at the keeper. Cote struggled to pick it up a little bit. I think he was worried it might change direction in the wind, but it ended up staying pretty true. Looking for Bilan, not there. Buff. Bilan. Amole in good position, stabs that one out. Amole volleys it up into the air. Somewhat dangerous there as Bilan stuck a foot up and the defender put his head down. Vartanian had it taken away by Oliveira. Far side, trying to get it around Zeleji. Keomani with acres of space in front, uses his pace to keep on going past the defender. Cuts it into the 18. Keomani! And a little stick out of the foot by Vartanian. Took enough of the sting on that one for Cote to get comfortably behind it. All the way up through the midfield, off a pipeline player. This one will run out for a Michigan throw. So we see another look at this push-up field by Keomani. Drove all the way into the box and then got in good positioning, but then that back leg by the defender was able to knock that down. Oliveira wins the free kick. Now we'll have a player go into the book, I should say, as Adam Rice saying this is the second time that I've spoken to you, to Garen Vartanian. Rugel subbed out, Klink comes back in. Pipeline starting to get that feeling. It's that kind of anxious feeling, obviously more on the eager side than true anxiousness, but you can sense it coming. You know that the situation is definitely in your favor. And it would take something special out of Michigan to pull this one off, but stranger things have happened. That's why you play the game. Medrano able to muscle his way past 3 defenders, gets away past the 4th. McBride heavy on the touch, Bilan into the box, and Amole dealt with it. Rodriguez brings it down, pokes it towards the near side. Nino to the top of the box. Medrano had it taken off his back pocket. McBride on the left foot, McBride with the curler and a save. Mizadra. First time that he's really been called into action in that shape or form. The championship hats are out though. U.S. Youth Soccer officials getting ready for the end of this contest. Celebrations to be had, but still at least 1 more minute of stoppage time. Keomani draws some ooze from the crowd from the left, puts it off the defender. Vartanian has been on him completely in the last 5 minutes or so. Bilan. Once again taken away by Smith, under the foot of Albin. Amole up the pitch for Oliveira. Space in behind. Oliveira drives it into the box, gets around the defender, serves one up. And he actually went for that near post, trying to catch Cote cheating just a little bit. Nino saves it in, but then out-dueled by Supan, his numerical counterpart. Dueling 21s, Rodriguez sends it to McBride just outside the circle. Five minutes played now in stoppage time, so every second additional is a gift to the Michigan Jaguars. But hands going on the heads of the team out of Novi, Michigan, as they're starting to sense the reality, as is the bench for Pipeline SC. And there's the final whistle. The championship decided. Pipeline SC are your national champions. The officials trying to wrangle the championship team back into position. You saw the officials there. They were very worthy of being chosen for this national championship. Solid job done by all involved in red. It was a pretty smooth game overall, not too much until the very end there when frustration started creeping in, especially for the Jaguars. But dejected faces for the players out of Michigan as they came achingly close, but it was not to be their day today. Pipeline SC, your national champions, very deserving as they went undefeated in regionals and all the way through here in the national championship, going 4-0-0, 3-0-0 in group play, and then winning here the national championship. As you see the emotion taken over, Mizadra down with tears in his eyes, and that's what winning at this level can do. Some great goals scored by both teams. This was the opening one, scored by Caden Analaha. The family's very proud of their players as they have put in a lot of work. Everybody involved in these teams has put in so much time, sweat, and effort to get to this level. Michigan fans a little bit upset. Pipeline fans go home happy. But what a national championship it was, as we see the second goal and final goal of the match coming for Pipeline SC. That would be the insurance they wouldn't end up needing, but nevertheless, it's nice to have that in your back pocket. But for everybody here at Turbo Sports Group, that'll do it for our broadcast here this evening. We hope you enjoyed it. For Alex Bousquet down in the truck, for all of our great camera crew bringing you tonight's action, this is Todd Panula signing off, and we hope you have a good night. Good night from Shields Overland Park Soccer Complex.